Happy Wednesday again, everybody. So, market has been pretty much on a tear for the last 2 months. I think we've had two iffy days where you thought it might crack, but then it just gaps up and keeps going. So, today this is probably the only day that I saw, other than I want to say it was last week, some intraday weakness. But every time we've seen that this has intraday weakness, it just continues to gap up even higher than previous days. So. I would say don't fight it, but also be aware that I believe the 200-day is like right around here. You have the 280s above that, but this sort of action that I've seen is kind of reminiscent of the end of December of last year, where it pretty much straight up. So I mean, if you want to take a 2-month time span and even bring it back to here, I mean, it's hard to imagine this big of a move, let's say from last year in May, just to get the numbers, and then in 2 months be here on the market. So just kind of be aware that it's moved very far, very fast. Obviously, we had the Powell put that happened on that day where, without directly saying it, said we'll basically catch everything. So, just kind of be aware of that. I do expect at some point for this to roll over. Similar to back in here, but obviously you can't predict these things, and I've been wrong the previous 2 weeks on where I thought resistance was. So the 265s, there was pretty obvious resistance, but once it broke through that, it's been on a train since then. Some of these OTC names over the last 2 weeks, they have been absolutely on fire. One of these, for instance, was the SHMP. It went from, I think I highlighted this on a Twitter post back in the early 05 area, it went all the way to 90 cents. And once these things let go, they just pull the plug. So, kind of be aware of that. Another one that is going on right now is CLSK. So be aware of these things and don't get caught on the short side because, damage can be done if you are too early on these. So, bounce plays on these are probably a better idea, but if you've never done those, I would avoid those. One of the other interesting things that went on last week and this week was EA, so they posted pretty bad earnings. But right after that, we had basically some sponsorship videos from some very prominent Twitchers and YouTubers with their new game, and for 2 straight days, EA went straight up. So that was a very interesting development that happened there. ATVI, one of those things as well, where earnings came out. And I think that the earnings was pretty much priced in for where they were at. Layoffs were all kind of priced in, from the weeks prior to that. So kind of be aware of that. Bitcoin, again, still sitting in that range. I wouldn't say this is anything to really even look at until it breaks over the 3,700 area. Would be a key area of interest. So just kind of be aware of that. But other than that, there's not a whole lot else to report. I mean, once it does break this downtrend, then it might become a little bit more bullish. There are, however, other cryptos out there that a little bit more interested instead of the almighty Bitcoin. So just kind of be aware of that. And I do hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Don't forget, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and Monday we are off. So I will talk to you guys next time.